Hello Ars fans, Hoops are here with another Rangers rumour roundup, and with the club now out in Girona without us, pre-season has officially begun. That doesn't mean there isn't transfer news coming out of W12 though, because in this video I have 3 potential signings to talk about, all of which have started to heat up over the last few days. We'll kick things off with Chris Willock, whose contract has officially expired as of the 30th of June, meaning he technically is a free agent now. However, multiple sources, including West London Sport and The Athletic, are reporting that his preference is to stay at the club with a new deal and that discussions are ongoing. Most reports have said this would be a new 2-year deal, although some rumours say 4. But the most important part is that there is supposedly going to be a release clause in the contract which will allow him to move on should another club come calling. 2 years seems far more likely to me given how we are operating as a club currently. But as I say, that release clause is very interesting, particularly in light of the rumours over the past few months that Willock has been looking for a new club. The likes of Norwich, Sunderland and Hull City have been mentioned as potential suitors for his signature. But clearly nothing's come of that, because now there is this rumour that he is set to stay at QPR. Whether that's because his wage demands were too high, or he was looking for too high a signing on fee, or maybe clubs just aren't willing to take a risk on him given what's happened over the past few seasons. But if that is true and no one is interested, it does slightly smack of there's no other options on the table, so I'll just stay at QPR. Now obviously that's how these things work. He's not going to walk away if he is convinced that no one else is coming in for him. And if we can keep him and the deal is right for the club, then it does make a lot of sense for both parties. But something does slightly rub me the wrong way about the fact that he was looking to leave. Nothing has come of that interest, and now he's turning back. Just from an attitude perspective, I think there is a bit of a question mark there for me. But if you do want to look at it through a more optimistic lens, you have to look at the role that Marcy and Christian Nauri would have likely have played in this deal happening. Because I think realistically, without those figures at the club and without the turnaround that we've seen under Marcy in that second half of the season, this deal just wouldn't be happening. Anyway, it's not 100% done yet anyway. Someone else could swoop in for him, or we might not be able to reach an agreement, but we are starting to see reports of this deal now, so it is something that exists. Hopefully, if he is staying, this is something that can get wrapped up sooner rather than later, because we have started our pre-season training, and unless the club have him out in Spain negotiating that deal, if it takes another couple of weeks, then he's going to miss half of pre-season and be undercooked for the season's start in August. Now, West London Sport are also reporting that QPR are expecting to close a deal with 23-year-old Brazilian right-back Everton Santos following the conclusion of his contract with Portuguese top-tier side Estrela. Eagle-eyed fans have spotted that Santos and his partner were both in London over the weekend, that Sam Field has followed the defender on Instagram, and that Santos' partner has also followed QPR. So joining all of those dots up with the West London Sport report, this one sounds pretty close. Santos was born in Brazil but moved to Portugal during his youth, signing with CIF in 2010 before a move to Sporting a year later. He spent 9 years with Sporting between the ages of 10 and 19, signing his first professional contract with the club in 2019 and making 28 appearances for the B team. His contract was extended with the side by 3 years in 2021, and he was training with the senior team in the summer of 2022 before joining Estrela in Portugal's second division that July on a 2-year contract. Age 21, he made 16 appearances that season for the side as they won automatic promotion to Portugal's top flight. And last season his appearances increased, playing 32 matches for the side as they finished 15th in their first ever season in the Primeira Liga. And now a free agent, it's looking very likely that Santos is on his way to W12. This is an interesting one because after our first signing last week with a new goalkeeper on a free in Paul Nardi, it's looking like our second signing is another free agent. And this really sets the tone for the kind of window that we can expect. We're clearly looking to try and do smart business on a free. And it's also interesting because of what this means for the other right backs in our squad. I say right back, obviously Dunn featured there for a long period of last season, but this move may indicate that his future is not remaining in that position and that this was a short-term fix. Some people have also questioned what this means for Reggie Cannon, but Osman Kakai has departed from the club, and this does mean that there is a space to fill at right back to ensure that we have sufficient depth. I think this is a positive thing. It will bring some competition into the space, especially if Dunn is still in the conversation. And just like the rest of the player rumours, if this one does get announced, I will be doing a full separate video on Santos and what to expect from him, so make sure to like and subscribe if you want to keep an eye out for that one. Now, our third and final rumour in this video, according to The Sun, QPR are targeting 24-year-old Met striker Simon Alisa, who impressed on loan at Troyes last season with 6 goals in 18 matches. There are, however, multiple nuances to this one. Firstly, outside of the Sun article, I am yet to see this reported anywhere else besides from Twitter, so make of that what you will. There's also the fact that Mets got relegated from League One last season, and with Alisa having impressed a step below over the past year, they may be keen to keep him. Compounding that is the fact that fellow Mets striker Georges Mikhail-Tatze is attracting heaps of attention as Euro 2024's current top scorer, having scored 3 goals and 1 assist for Georgia at the time of recording. And his involvement in Simon Alisa's potential connection to QPR is tricky in itself. Mets sold him to Ajax last summer, but he went back on loan to the French club in January with an option to buy him back, which they have at a loss as of the 1st of July. The thing is, despite them now having bought him back, he is attracting plenty of interest from other clubs, with West Ham potentially leading the race, and so Mets might not want to have to replace 2 strikers this summer. If a deal can be done, he does look very promising. He's 6 foot, athletic, pacey, and good with the ball at his feet. But transfer market value him at €1 million, and with 2 years left on his contract, this one isn't going to be straightforward for QPR to deliver. As I said with Santos, we have only made 3 signings so far, and this may be because we're looking to save any potential budget where it's needed most, which absolutely would be on a top class striker. As I say though, not being overly reported right now, and even if it is true, it's looking like there's going to be a few things to fall in place if this is to come off. Anyway, that is all for this video. Do let me know what you think about these potential signings in the comments below. It seems like Santos is pretty clear, and hopefully Willock we get over the line this week too. As I say, I will be making individual videos focusing on the career and the player profile of each of these players when they do sign, so there will be plenty more QPR content coming your way in the coming days. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time. Cheers!